Yeah? Right?
Yes.
Deal?
Boing.
Welcome to the Acquia podcast, Drupal technology, community, and business.
Welcome to the Acquia podcast, Drupal technology, community, and business.
There's a module for that?
Of course there is.
We are in Acquia headquarters in Boston, and compared to the last time I was here, it's actually pretty nice and cleaned up. Last time I was here was last June, I think, and there were boxes everywhere and electrical cables everywhere and pieces of computers everywhere. When did you move into the facility?
In May. Into the new office was in May.
So you were like in the advanced team.
Yeah, so we were in a temporary space for what was supposed to be 3 months, then turned into 5 to 6 months. It was 3 levels above this office, so we still had the nice view, but the office itself was very, very different. Very basic.
Right, so at Acquia HQ in Boston, you can picture painted concrete floors, foosball tables, literally a beer tap and a cold coffee tap next to each other, pretty much like tech startup playground kind of place.
Yep.
Although compared to some of the Microsoft offices I've been in, we don't have a slide or a fireman's pole. So, I think we have grounds to complain.
Yeah, we could get one of those poles from the 11th floor to the 10th floor. That would be really cool.
I would totally use it.
Yeah, me too.
So, why don't you introduce yourself, tell us who you are and what you do now?
Sure. So, my name is Laura Caraker. I am currently on the solutions architecture team as an associate solutions architect, and I have been here for a little bit over 2 years now.
I remember meeting you in Acquia's old office a couple of times because your desk was positioned in a place that I would always walk through the office, and you and your desk mate at the time seemed to be having far too much fun.
Yeah, we really did. And it was a great place to sit, too, because I could see everybody coming through, so it was nice.
What was your job back then?
I was a business development representative. I think that was close to when I first started. And I remember you were wearing your mustache suit, full mustache suit.
Well, I mean, I have to keep up appearances, right?
Yeah, of course.
Now, what does a BDR do? What is a business development representative?
So a BDR is an entry-level sales position within the company. So it's generally for people right out of college or looking to jumpstart their career. That's if they're looking into the business side, that's like the first level role they would take.
But Laura, that's a sales job, and now you're doing a Drupal job. So this actually totally fascinated me. So here's what I observed that really, truly captivated me. I met Laura in this entry-level sales position. Mm-hmm. And then at DrupalCon Portland, I ran into you.
Austin.
Was it Austin?
Austin. At
a DrupalCon, I ran into you and I said, wow, you're here because that's at a large company like we are. I thought it was a little bit unusual that a junior salesperson would be at DrupalCon. I said, what are you doing here? And you said, we won this, we made this number and our prize was to come to DrupalCon. And I asked you about it. And how was your first DrupalCon?
I loved it. It was also my first time in Austin, so that contributed to the positive experience too. But it was great having been here for just a few months at that point to go do a community event like that with coworkers you don't usually talk to and see the community itself as well.
What was your tech experience before you came to Acquia?
Slim to none. I knew very basic coding like HTML. It was more of a hobby. I had a WordPress blog before coming here, so but not far beyond that.
Do you have a first Drupal memory?
Ooh. Probably DrupalCon itself was the most prevalent Drupal memory itself. With the actual technology, the first time I used Drupal was Drupal Garden. So,
okay. So what I've observed is you came in as a salesperson, you got excited about this thing, and you're now in a technical job. And of course, the piece in between that somehow was Acquia U. But describe working in this organization and what happened along the way? What caught your attention? What got you excited?
Sure. So I'd say what got me the most excited about working here was the people. So you always want to perform very well because you enjoy the people that you're working with and you want to work hard for them. But every day in sales, I found myself on phone conversations talking to people about Drupal and our products, but never fully understanding it to the level I wanted to have the confidence to really sell it. And since I was always sort of fascinated by technology in general, I wanted to learn more. So I was in that role or moving along that team for a year and a half-ish. And then I'd always been interested in Acquia U and the idea behind it, but there hadn't really been anybody internally that had wanted to do it. And when I saw that the prerequisites weren't too demanding, I reached out to Amy and asked what she'd think about it, and then I talked to my boss, and then everything kind of came together.
Wow. So describe how it was going through the curriculum and getting up to speed on PHP and version control and Agile and all this stuff.
Very difficult. And it was difficult too because I started with a group of maybe 8 to 9 other people, and they all had different levels of experience. Some of the kids had coded for a while, just using different programs, but generally around the room, not many of us knew Drupal very well, so that was a little less intimidating. It was definitely difficult to learn everything at once and try and put it all together, to understand what it all means together and workflow and things like that. But I made it through. I survived, and I'm still learning.
Is it fair to describe it as a boot camp?
Yes. Like a boot camp classroom, basically.
What sort of, well, you're in a technical role now at Acquia in the solutions architecture team, which enables people to design their projects right to succeed at them.
Yep.
What sort of career doors do you think Acquia U's opened for you?
Well, initially, my first intention was to go to Acquia U to enable me more as a sales rep. The initial plan was to come right back to the sales team. So around the end of that program, I was starting to get a feel for other departments. So right then and there, that opened the opportunity to join the solutions architecture team. And I had other opportunities too. You know, it was very flexible now having the Drupal knowledge and Acquia knowledge of where you can go. So I really liked all the different opportunities I had. And the solutions architecture opportunity was the most attractive to me because it combined skills that I had already gained in sales with the new skills I had. And I knew that if I went right back to sales, I may not exercise all the new skills I was learning. So I was nervous to lose them, and I wanted to actually work with them every day. So
you're baking them in now.
Yeah.
Right, and you know, you're making a broader base, really, and using it every day is, of course, the best way to really make it stick. Yes. I see that. What was your major at college?
Sport management.
Okay, but management, right? You did a businessy thing at the business school, and now you've got all these technical skills, and your role is actually right in between those two worlds, because essentially you need to take figure out what the business requirements are, which is a set of skills, you know, in and of itself that's quite tricky, and then express those in a technical architecture with our specific technology. That's actually really exciting, because I think that you've got an enormously, a growing and very complementary skill set that's going to make all sorts of things possible in the future. What's your first startup going to be then?
Oh, I have no idea. I haven't thought that far yet.
I mean, in one possible set of outcomes, right? This is actually an ideal position to be like a technical founder, co-founder of something. That's wow.
Tom Erickson started as a pre-sales guy.
Career path, Tom Erickson.
There it is.
Do you like wearing purple sweaters?
Sometimes.
Right. So I think the Tom Erickson path is open to you too.
Not as often as him, but occasionally.
No. So what I love about this is that you went from sports, business background into selling, and our crazy technical thing caught your eye, right? And you went for that.
Yeah, and I actually did minor in IT in school in addition to the whole sport management business thing, but it was pretty basic level, just like binary basic computer IT things. So it's cool how both of them kind of combined into this role a few years later where I am.
It's tremendously exciting. And I want to point out that Drupal and technology today, despite how complicated things or complex things are and how many systems and how much there is in today's web and digital technologies, there are enormous possibilities for people to come in, self-taught, university taught. You can go to boot camps, you can read books, you can really talk about people who are, say something to the people out there who are not sure they're doing the right thing, and talk about the chances that you see in technology today.
Well, I mean, in terms of technology, there's a lot of chances. Drupal specifically, I'd say out of the different technologies I've seen, it definitely has a learning curve, but it's one of the easiest ones to get involved with because of how vast the community is and all the resources that are available. So this entire journey has been a huge learning experience for me, but I've never had an issue finding help. So whether it be within Acquia or within the Drupal community itself.
Very good.
So don't be afraid to get involved.
Don't be afraid to get involved. That's really cool. When are you giving your first DrupalCon session?
Someday I will. I've actually been doing a lot of Drupal camps, gearing up and potentially preparing some sessions here and there, demos. And I'll be doing something at DrupalCon this year, hopefully. We'll see. Nothing, maybe not a session yet, but that's the goal one day.
Awesome. But you're definitely out there engaging with the community, showing people how to use stuff. Wow. Fantastic. So thank you. So you're passing it on straight away as well.
Yeah.
I find your story so exciting. It's really, congratulations. It just seems, it's incredibly, it's exciting. I'm excited for you. I hope you're.
I'm pumped. I feel very, very lucky to have the opportunities that I've had here at Acquia and with Drupal in general. So it's very exciting.
Welcome to our community.
Thank you. I love it.
Thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks, Jam. Good. We need a Drupal dance.
Wait a minute.